welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for deciding to click on today's video. It is going to be a brand new in the cart or forgot about. I do these every single week here on my channel where I basically talk about new makeup products that are coming out and just tell you guys my thoughts on them, if I'm planning on purchasing them, or if I'm planning on not putting them in my cart. That is what we're gonna be doing in today's video. These videos are always inspired by my friend Samantha March here on YouTube. She does her Will I Buy It, which is where I got the idea for these videos. I will have her channel linked down below so you guys can check it out. But let's go ahead and get started chatting about some of these new makeup launches. New releases this week to chat about. So the first one I want to talk about is from Dominique Cosmetics. If you guys do not know, this is Kristen Dominique's makeup line, and she is now releasing the Berries and Cream eyeshadow palette. So this is a new eyeshadow palette that's going to have 12 different shades in it. It's going to be $44. So this palette looks a little bit different than her last few palettes she's had. They have the larger pans. I believe those ones only have 10 shades. So this one has 12 shades. And I have to say, like, when I saw this, I wasn't like super excited. The Latte palette, you guys will hear me talking about all the time. I recommend that palette all the time. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes like ever. I love it so much. The Lemonade palette was okay for me. It wasn't like my favorite, but it was all right. So now we are on into the Berries and Cream, which will be her third eyeshadow palette. And I don't know, like, it looks pretty, but there's nothing like necessarily that's like gravitating me towards it. So I don't even know if I'm planning on getting this one. I do really like the formula of her eyeshadows though. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I want to say her other palettes I think were $42. So this one is a little bit more pricey. I know it has 2 more shades, but I know the pans are smaller. But let me know what you guys think if you guys are excited about this release. It says it will be available on November 16th. Maybelline has a new eyeshadow palette out. This is the Matte Bar palette. It's going to have 12 matte shades and it will be $9.99. It is available now. And matte palettes, like all matte palettes, I've said this before, don't necessarily interest me. I don't have too many of them in my collection. I would say the only ones that I actually get use out of that are like all matte palettes are the Dose of Colors palettes. But other than that, I don't really reach for like all matte palettes all too often just because I personally prefer like a shimmer on my lid. But this is a new palette from them. It's going to be $9.99. I haven't tried, I think they have a few of these palettes, like the Lemonade palette, I believe. They have, I can't even think, but they have quite a few. Soda Pop one, like a few like in this kind of design. I haven't actually tried any of those. It's been a while since I've tried a Maybelline eyeshadow palette. I think the last one I tried was the Total Temptation line. And I really love that mascara, but the eyeshadow palette for me was quite a miss. So I haven't really gotten another eyeshadow palette from them since then because I didn't really like that one. But I don't know. I'm going to pass on this one, but let me know what you guys think. So, Tarte Cosmetics, I was kind of interested with this release from them. They're coming out with the Tarteist Pro Remix version. And this is going to be a colorful eyeshadow palette from Tarte. Now, the original Tarteist Pro is a really good eyeshadow palette. I've had it in my collection now for a long time. I still reach for it. I think the formula of Tarte's eyeshadows are some of my favorites. And I know a lot of people get kind of on Tarte a lot because they do release a lot of the same type of products, the same type of eyeshadow palettes. They don't really do like a ton of color necessarily, and I know people are always wanting more from them, and so they are bringing a little bit of color to this new remix palette. I think the packaging looks really cool. It kind of has like that graffiti look all over the packaging. And yeah, that's about it with this palette when it comes to me. Like the blues look really pretty in it, but I don't really necessarily, I don't know, like when I'm looking at this palette, I'm trying to think of the colors like going well together. And I don't really know, like I can automatically like picture a few looks, but I kind of look at this and I'm like, like a few of these shades look very similar. And I'm not really sure like how many looks I would actually get that I would like out of this palette. So I know for me, I'm probably not gonna get this one, but I know a lot of people are probably excited to see Tarte doing something different, and let me know what you guys think, if this is something like you were waiting for from them, or if you're still wanting a little bit more from them. I'd be curious to know. We have more details now on Gway's holiday collection. It's quite a bit for a holiday set. So we are going to have a highlighting palette. There is an eyeshadow palette, a bunch of new lippies. We have some brushes. We have lip toppers, lip creams. We also have other lip products. I think this one is like a lip balm. So I'm going to mostly just talk about the eyeshadow palette because I think that's like probably what most people are interested in. So this is an all shimmer eyeshadow palette. So with the eyeshadow palette, it looks like you actually get, I'm trying to read here, it says a liquid shimmer eye topper, and then the palette, it's going to be $52 for both of them. And the dragonfly cover of this palette looks so pretty, and then you get to the inside, which is an all shimmer palette. And I have to say that Gway's shimmers are some of my favorites. Again, just like I don't like all matte palettes, I don't necessarily care much for all shimmer palettes either. But I have their Skinny Dip palette, and you guys, when I tell you that is like the most beautiful shimmer palette that I've ever seen, it's so, so good. So when I saw that they were releasing another all shimmer palette, I kind of got excited about it. I love the greens in here that they have. They have like an olive green and also like a bright green. There's gold in there, silver, purple, and I know it's all colors that I probably have in other palettes, but I know that this is going to be like that ultra foiled, like amazing formula that I love so much in the Skinny Dip palette. So that's what kind of has me like I kind of want that. So I think $52 for a palette is quite expensive. I don't know that I would necessarily use like the little foil topper thing. I'll probably go ahead and swatch this at Sephora. It says that they will be available on November 8th. And I'm not sure when they will be available in Sephora, if they'll be available. Oh, okay, so it says, note that the only set available at Sephora. Okay, so I think some of the items will be available actually now. So maybe if I could get this during like the sale, like the VIB sale or something, I might pick it up, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I think it's really pretty. So Urban Decay has some new mini eyeshadow palettes that we got a sneak peek of. I'm reading off of Trend Mood. So she said they will be coming in December. These are going to be the On The Go palettes or the On The Run palettes, which I think is super cute considering the Born to Run palette has been such a hit. So I think that these are just meant to be like mini versions of that palette. Although I do feel like the color stories of all three of these palettes are very different from the Born to Run palette. But I kind of get where they're going for with these palettes, which I think is really nice. I'll be curious to know the price on these. I don't know the price on each one of them, but I would say the bottom one, the blue one, is the one that caught my attention the most. I say blue, but it has one blue in there. But it has a really nice, like, warm tone mustardy vibe to it. Also, the purple one looks really pretty. I've been into, like, mini palettes lately. I find myself reaching for those more than, like, my super large palettes. So this one definitely caught my attention when I saw that they were coming out with the minis, and I love the Born to Run formula so much. So I'll definitely probably get one of these at least. I'm thinking probably the bottom one because I think I could create some really pretty looks with that, but I think all three of these look really, really nice. So a little bit of makeup news that I wanted to mention. CoverGirl is actually now going to be cruelty-free. So if you guys are someone who only use cruelty-free cosmetics, CoverGirl has just announced that they are going to be fully cruelty-free, which I think is amazing. That's really awesome that they're doing that. Obviously, I think more brands need to jump on board with that, but it's so great to see like a large brand like CoverGirl kind of stepping into that zone and doing something like that. I think is amazing. So in case you guys were looking for brands and you do only do cruelty free, I thought I would mention that in here because that was announced. I think that's really, really awesome. Pop is collaborating with Bretman Rock, and he looks like he has two different collections releasing with ColourPop. So each of them has an eyeshadow palette. You have some blushes in there, a few lip colors, and then also it says that it's going to be a glittery body glitter or a glittery obsessed body glitter. That's going to be $8. This collection will be available on November 9th. And I have to say that when I saw that blue palette, I'm so into blues, you guys, like I swear. I thought that that one was pretty. And then you also have the other side that's more of like a red tone. It's got the red lippy in there. And I think that these palettes look really pretty. They're only $12 each. That's why I love ColourPop so much. They're so affordable. And the body glitter also looks really pretty. At first I thought that was like a foiled eyeshadow or something, which I thought was like a really cool idea from ColourPop. But it sounds like it's just like a body glitter to put on, so that's kind of interesting. I think that both of these look really nice. I don't know if I'll get either one, but I think it's really cool that they do so many collaborations at ColourPop. I think that's really awesome, and they're one of my favorite brands, so I feel like you could never go wrong with like their palettes. Definitely love their Super Shock cheeks as well, so this is probably going to be a really, really nice collab. And then the last thing I want to talk about this week is from Morphe, and this is the new palette with James Charles. So this is going to be the Unleash Your Inner Artist palette. And actually last holiday season they came out with the 39A palette, and this one is kind of like modeled after that. It has like those same larger pans in it, and then you have a ton of other shades. So there's going to be 39 shades in it, and it's going to be $39. There's also a brush collection with this collaboration as well if you guys are interested in that. I think it's really great that James is coming out with this palette. I saw the swatches and they all looked really, really nice. I'll kind of be curious to try this one out because he said that it does have like a new formula. He called them pigments instead of like eyeshadows. I'm not really sure what all that was about. He mentioned like how you have to apply them differently and things. So I'll kind of be curious to try those out and see how they perform like normal, if they perform like normal mattes or if they're kind of how they perform really. I'm just really curious about it. There's a pretty highlighting shade in there. I love that everything is zoned too. It like the 39A, how everyone had like a color story, like you had your greens, you had your like oranges in that one. I think it's really cool that it has like the greens, the blues, the pinks, the oranges, you know, everything's kind of color storied. Only thing I don't love is this palette is so huge. Like the 39A, I love the colors in that palette, but I never reach for it because the palette is so dang big. Like it's huge and it's really hard to store as well. And this palette's gonna be the same. I also kind of wish that he had like the names on the palette because it just has like that plastic sheet over top. And I already lost mine for the 39A. I don't have it anymore. So that kind of just like, it's not my favorite thing ever. But I'm excited for James. I think that's really great that he is collaborating with Morphe. And we all knew this was coming, so it's cool to see what it finally is. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see about the formula and everything. I'll probably try this one. I think it says it's going to be available November 13th, so I know it's probably going to run out quick, and it will be available in Ulta as well, which is great. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing my thoughts on these new makeup launches. Please let me know your comments down below what you guys think of these releases, which ones you guys are planning on picking up. I would love to know. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you guys go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, friends.